Okay, let's try some practice questions from page 57, Show You Know. The first Show You Know at the bottom of page 57 says negative 1.4, and this is bracket negative 2.6. Now what the expectation is here is that you understand that when you have a number, let's say 2, next to another number like 3, this is the same thing as saying 2 times 3. Why do we show it like that? Why don't we just continue using the multiplication symbol like we have been for the last 8 years? Well, it's because as we get more and more deeper into algebra, we start using the x in algebra, and the x and the multiplication symbol look an awful lot alike. So we stop using it, and we replace it instead with brackets. So this says negative 1.4 multiplied by negative 2.6. So if I was to estimate first, which I'm going to do now, I'd say like 1 times 3. What's negative 1 times negative 3? That's roughly what these are as whole numbers. 1 times 3 is 3. Negative times a negative is a positive. So my estimation is going to be positive 3. I'll use that in a second. So let's try this ourselves. So we have 1.4 times 2.6. Now, I should actually say that when you have your estimation, you do not need to write your decimals anymore. Oh, I just did it again. Look at that. I'm a big dum-dum. 1.4 times 2.6. I do not need to have my decimals there because I already have my estimation to help me place my decimal. So 6 times 4 is 24, carry my 2. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. And I'm done of all my multiplication with 6. If I want, I could scratch it out and say goodbye. But I now go on to my second number, 2. 2 is going to be multiplied by 4, then it's going to be multiplied by 1. So for this one, I'm going to start, because it's my second number, it starts in the second space of my second line. I put a 0 there to make sure I don't start there. And I start right here in the second space of the second line with my second number, which is 2 times 4, which is 8, and 2 times 1, which is 2, and I write it down. And now I simply add them together to get 4, 16, and 3, 364, which I know isn't my answer, because my estimation over here was 3, therefore my decimal has to go here, and my answer for the product of those two numbers is negative 3.64. Okay, that's the first Show You Know. Let's look at the second one. It's a division. It says negative 2.76 divided by 4.6. Now I said before, if you're dealing with rational numbers, sometimes it's easiest to think about the estimation in terms of money. So if you had $2.76 and you had to divide them into piles of $4.60, how many piles could you make? You have $2.76 and you're dividing them into piles of $4.60. Well, you might be saying, well, I can't even make a pile. Right. Therefore, your answer is going to be less than 1. Can you make roughly half a pile? And I'm not going to get picky here, but yeah, you can roughly make half a pile of $4.60 if you have $2.76. So that's your numeric answer. And then I say, well, a negative divided by a positive is a negative. So my estimation is going to be negative a half, if that makes sense to you. Now for the calculation, again, I'm not concerned about you being able to do the long division. If you can estimate it properly, that's all you need to do. So 2.76 divided by 4.6 equals, your actual answer is negative, your actual answer is actually negative 0.6. So your estimation was pretty darn close by using that method. And your actual answer is this, and that's all you need to do. Okay? So hopefully those Show You Knows helped you a little bit. Good luck with the questions throughout the chapter. I'm going to do some of the more difficult ones for you online so you can access those. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to come see me.